swear to God, this quarantine is making me weirder than usual. What's up, guys? I will leave info up here for the manis on my hands right now. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna pop off the rest of my peelies since I already lost the one, and this is gonna be the first episode of Paws and Claws. So I watched this YouTuber. He's a professional makeup artist. His name is Robert Welsh. I'll leave info for his channel up here. He does a series on his channel. It's called Makeup and Ghost Stories. And I am so obsessed. I mean, I watch all of his stuff, but I am very into his makeup and ghost stories. And I thought that's such a great idea, especially nowadays where you need something to, take your mind off of everything that's going on in the world. So I'm going to do my own spin on his makeup and ghost stories. I'm going to do Paws and Claws. I'm going to read some stories. Well, I'll get to your stories. I figured I'd start with my own stories today, and I'll do some nails. I'm not going to get crazy detailed as to what I'm doing on my nails. I'm such a weirdo. But I will leave products that I'm using down in the description box for you guys. While nothing. So you can go check out what's in the description box if you're interested in the products I'm using, but this is going to focus on telling you some adoption stories. I figured, you know what? I think most of you guys know by now. Oh, you know what? If you're new, hi, hello, I'm Marlakris. This is a new thing that I'm going to start on this channel. I'm not sure how often I'll do it, if it's going to be a bi-weekly thing or maybe a monthly thing. I don't know. I'll figure that out eventually. But I do want to share a little joy and, I don't know, tell some animal stories. So if you have any, definitely send them to my email address. I'll leave it up here on the screen for you. It's marlakrispausandclaws@gmail.com. It'll be in my description box as well. I guess what I wanted to tell you is, if you've been around for a minute, then you know that I'm a huge animal advocate. I'm a volunteer at my Humane Society, and I think I'm going to open up Paws and Claws by telling you a little bit about how I got into that. So a couple of years ago, I don't know what provoked me, but out of nowhere, I'm like, I want a cat. I've had cats, growing up. I've always been around cats in my childhood, but I'm highly allergic. So cats and I just never really got along because they made me sneeze. They made my eyes red and itchy, and I was a general hot mess when I had cats near me. So I stayed away from them since I moved out my parents' house and, had my own life, had my own kids. And out of nowhere, I'm like, I think I want a cat. And I was talking about it for a while, and I don't know, it was one of those like pipe dreams. Like, I really want one, but I'll never go get one. And then one day, actually, it was Brian and I's anniversary. We weren't even married yet. And I was hanging out at the pool with a couple of my girlfriends and the kids. And I get a phone call that I needed to come back to the apartment like right away. And I'm like, oh my God, is there an emergency? So I run literally back to my apartment. This was before I had a house. Ran back to my apartment, throw open like the bedroom door. And there is Brian and my stepdaughter Taylor and this teeny tiny little black and white kitten. And I'm like, oh my God. I started freaking out. This little thing was so darn adorable. And that's how I got my first cat. And I named her Negan after The Walking Dead. And eventually we got Negan a little sister, who's about the same age actually. And we named her Daryl. So now we have Daryl and Negan. And we have since adopted 3 other cats. But before that happened, I actually wound up going to the Humane Society, and I spoke to a woman who had been volunteering there for a while, and she told me a little bit about the organization, and she said, come to an orientation and just hear some stuff, hear what we're about. And I'm like, you know what, that's fine, I'll do that. I had really nothing else going on at the time. I was just starting school. And so I went to this orientation, fell in love with the entire organization. I will leave the organization linked in my description box. if any of you got, I know that things are tough right now, but if you find it in your heart to donate to the Humane Society that I volunteer at, I would be so appreciative. So I'll leave that in the description box for you. Anyway, I started volunteering at the Humane Society, and I've been there for almost 3 years now. And I love it so much. I went from doing general cat care to I still do general cat care. I also do adoption counseling. Sometimes I'll do feline behavior modification. We'll sometimes get cats in that come from horrific situations, abuse, neglect, hoarding situations. So I'll work with a cat one-on-one to make it more adoptable. And I love what I do there so much, to the point where I wound up meeting this cat, Hira. We had one of our thrift stores. We have 2 thrift shops, and we do adoptions out of both of them. So I met Hira. She was about a year or so old, big black Bombay cat. And for some reason, black cats just are overlooked. They're not very easily adopted. And I don't know why. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so I worked with Hira. Not that she needed much of anything. She was a very well-behaved cat, a little antisocial, but for the most part, super well-behaved and sweet. You would tell her to go to her kennel, and she would jump in her kennel, knew which one was hers. She was there for a while. She was there for most of her life, actually. And about, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 months into me knowing Hira, I came home from the thrift store one day, and I told Brian, I'm like, I need this cat. I don't know why, but I feel like I need this cat. He's like, well, go friggin' get her. So I hopped right back in my car, drove 45 minutes back to the thrift shop, and I brought her home with me. And she is seriously the love of my life. She's the best cat ever. I love her to pieces. She's my baby completely. Recently has become a complete lap cat. It took her a little bit to warm up, especially with the 2 knuckleheads we had before. But she has come out of her shell. She's so social now, very needy, loves the attention, has a crazy loud purr. I'll put pictures in here as I'm telling you these stories. So that's how I acquired my 3rd kitty, Hira. After we had Hira, I don't know why, but I had been wanting a 4th cat, which seems crazy. 3's a lot. Why would I want 4? I don't know. I felt something in me. I wanted a 4th cat. So I had this one cat in mind I wanted Brian to meet. And I brought him to the shop to meet this cat whose name was Marshmallow. And he was, imagine if you will, a college fraternity football player. That would be him in cat form. Just this meaty, stocky, snotty cat. But I loved him. He had such a personality, and I loved him to death. But when I brought Brian in to meet him, he just wanted nothing to do with us. And I'm like, you know what? That's a sign. Not meant to be. And that's fine. And Marshmallow did eventually get adopted, and everything is great. And I was looking on the Humane Society webpage, and I saw this cat. Her name was Greta. And Greta is a Russian blue, and recently came in, had a bunch of kittens, and had some medical issues. She had a really bad case of psychogenic alopecia, and if you don't know what that means, it's essentially stress grooming. She was licking herself bald, missing fur on half of her, the whole back half, her legs, her tush, her tail, bald. And I'm like, we should go meet Greta. So we went to the Humane Society again, and we met Greta. And Greta had, I think, 4 kittens. 3 out of the 4 had gotten adopted. And she was there. It was her and her one kitten, Dracula. Dracula's a little spitfire. He's romping around like kittens do, just wanted to play with everything. And Greta, she was definitely into us, just very mellow, very low-key. And I wanted Greta. I thought she was a sweetheart. And Brian wanted Boogie. His name was Dracula at the time. So, of course, we ended up taking both of them. So now we have 5 cats. And that is how I acquired all of my kitties. Love them to pieces. I'm not at the Humane Society now with the whole, shelter in place stuff. And we try to limit exposure as much as possible. I also do scheduling for the shelter. I do cat care scheduling, mentor training. I do training myself. I do a lot of group trainings. And so we've kept a very small skeleton crew over there. So we know the animals are being taken care of, they're being looked after, they're all good, but I'm seriously going crazy not being there. I miss my fur babies, I miss being there, I miss talking to all my volunteers. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but hopefully things will get back to, air quotes, normal sometime in the near future, and I'll get back there and back to all the fur babies that I miss so much. Although we did clear out the shelter a lot. I think we're down to 2 cats and like 12 dogs. Mind you, we normally have upwards of 200 cats and 100 dogs. We have a pretty stuffed full shelter all the time, or one of the biggest shelters in St. Lucie County, I believe. And we're a no-kill shelter. Again, go to the website and check it out if you want to. The organization is amazing. So that is how I became a member of HSTC and how I wound up with 5 fur babies. So this next story, I'm not going to give out names or anything. I'm going to let everyone be just anonymous. This next story comes to us from one of my wonderful, gorgeous subscribers, and goes something like this. It's crazy how he ended up in my life. Our dog had passed away about 8 months before, and I wasn't quite ready for another fur baby. I had all my chickens, and training a dog to love chickens is time consuming, and I had my baby, so I wasn't ready. My older son's home health nurse was here and looked outside and started yelling that there was a huge dog outside with my chickens, and I ran out to go check. And he was skin and bones and looked so horribly. But he was laying on the ground, and my chickens were all over him, and he didn't even care. He jumped up and ran to me with his tail wagging and wagging. I called animal control, they came and took him, and I cried and cried. My husband told me to go get him after the 3-day stray hold, and I did. I got him fixed, and that didn't go well. He had to have surgery 3 times for that. Oh my gosh, the poor baby. He was so mellow at first, but it was because of how weak he was, and it was just awful. He is happy and healthy now and loves the chickens. Oh my gosh, that's so darn adorable. I love stories like that. I'm going to put pictures of her pup in here. I love when things have a happy ending like that. It just makes my heart smile. And you know what? I genuinely feel, especially with animals, but people also, animals and people come into your lives for a reason and at a certain time. And, you know, I find it to be true with my fur babies, and I think it's true for this story as well. It was just the right time, and it was the right animal, and I so love this story so much. We've got another story for you. Again, it's a pup story, which I love so much. Again, from one of our family members, one of our subscribers. I've always grown up with dogs, large dogs, you know, the kind you can just snuggle up with, and they snuggle you right back. From huskies to golden retrievers, I always had wanted one of my own as an adult. Well, fast forward to adulthood, I've been married to a man who was not a dog person at all. In fact, he was a bird person. Are there bird people? Anyway, after 10 years or so of convincing, he finally agreed to get a mini schnauzer from a litter of my friend's dogs was having. There were 4 puppies in the litter. 3 were spoken for, including mine. Once he saw the last puppy, he melted, and I just knew we couldn't separate the 2 puppies. Freddie was always destined to be a bigger pup from the beginning. Once he said Mercury for her ears, he was attached. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Fred and Mercury. After my own heart, I'm obsessed with Queen. There was no turning back. It was a challenging 7-hour solo drive from Kentucky with 2 Corsic puppies. Oh my God, no. Once I arrived, the family welcomed Freddie and Mercury home. Our lives are more fulfilled and loving with our rockin' pups. Oh my gosh. These pictures. You see those ears on that pup? Oh my God, that's the cutest thing ever. Thank you so much for sending me these stories, guys. I think I have time for 1 or 2 more. This next story is called Miss Patch. Hi, Marla. Miss Patch was our boxer rescue. We got her in 2010. She was 4 years old at the time. grew up in the city, kenneled most of her life. We think they were backyard breeders, although never confirmed. Ugh, that makes me so mad. She came to us very skinny, had terrible worms, little muscle. Right from the get-go, she was always the kindest, sweetest girl, loved us unconditionally, and we, of course, her. We had many wonderful years with her. Unfortunately, we had noticed she was having seizures in the summer of 16, very mild at first. She was diagnosed with a brain tumor. She survived a little over a year and a half. In January of 18, she had a severe seizure and never recovered from it. Oh my God, you guys are making me cry. I still cry over her as I am now. She was the best dog. She continues to live on in our hearts. This story proves that there is someone for everyone and the power of love that pets give us despite anything they've gone through. Miss Patch was quiet but steadfast companion. She loved all without reservation. There wasn't a person she didn't demonstrate her, quote, wiggle butt moves or give free kisses. We were just so blessed to find her as she was to find us. Still difficult to believe she's not here with us. Till we meet again, Miss Patch. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I'm so deeply, deeply sorry for your loss. What a sweet pup. Oh my goodness. I want to give you such big hugs right now. Okay, after that story, I want to read this one, again from one of our family members. And I have a screenshot here that I'm told I have to read. This story says, I have 3 cats. One of them is not a sociopath. That would be Lily. Princess, Frederick, and McMurphy are another story. Oh my God, I love these names. I hope it's okay that I just attached some screenshots of a convo with my ex this morning. Here are some pictures of the cats as text. McMurphy is the void, Frederick is the diva, and Lily is the chunk. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious already. Okay, so I've got a screenshot here. And the litter box saga continues. Frederick comes in and screams at me till his litter box is clean. Then he wanders away like he really couldn't give a crap about said box. Then he comes back to scream at me until I start to scoop. Then he wanders off again. This time, I hung out near the box, and freaking McMurphy slid in and just peed. Just enough to make me clean the litter box. Just enough to make the litter box not clean. Twice, effers. I'm telling you, cats, man, they have such human qualities. I mean, you guys if you're cat lovers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, my Negan is an asshole. She's my baby, but she like hates everybody and every cat. She hates everything. Like, Daryl is the social butterfly. She loves people, loves, attention. We call her the greeter. If anyone ever comes in the door, she's like the first to be like, hello, who are you? And then Hira is the needy one. She loves being a part of everything, wants to be in everybody's face. God forbid there's food around. She won't even beg. She's not like in your face trying to eat your food, but she will stand there and stare at you until you're done. And then Greta, she's like the mom of the group who just says, F all of you, let the humans take care of the kids because I'm done. And lastly, Boogie, Greta's child. He's like the obnoxious, just troublemaker cat. I don't know. He terrorizes all the ladies. I think I may have time for maybe another one. I'm sorry if I'm dragging this out. I love these stories so much. So this email reads, Hi Marla, just sharing my story of my 2 fur babies. We adopted Charlotte, the tuxedo, in January of 19 from a local rescue. We had just relocated to Michigan from California. Ooh. And knew we needed to add a member. Hang on, I gotta scroll over. We needed to add a member to our family. She was 8 months old when we adopted her and her brother as well. When we went to fill out our application, we noticed that her brother had been adopted. When we got her home, it was snowing and we instantly fell in love. Over time, we did notice that she seemed to be a bit lonely, and I had become sad thinking about how she could be missing her brother. Well, by June of 19, we knew we needed to get her a sibling. She is quite the princess, so we knew we had to get a kitten, that way she wouldn't feel out of her place. We adopted Benji, the ginger baby, from another rescue, coincidentally named Paws, Oz, and Claws. Oh my God, that's so awesome. He was 3 months old. We were worried about introducing them and had a 3-week plan. Oh, that's super smart, to get them acclimated. Well, as soon as we got Benji inside, Charlotte tried to open the carrier herself to let him out. Someone was anxious. They automatically became best friends. They are both such sweet, crazy blessings. Oh, Benji got huge, and Charlotte is still our teeny girl. Oh my gosh. Now they spend their days WWE style wrestling. Squeezing together on the heating pad. Oh, and running around like toddlers with sugar highs. Oh my god, that's so amazing. I literally picture this in my head. We wouldn't have it any other way. Thanks for all the amazing videos you do. You are so welcome. And listening to me babble about my babies. Girl, I'll listen to you babble all day long. Talk about animals, you got me. That is absolutely amazing. Oh my god, these kitties are so darn precious. I just want to say thank you guys so much for sharing your stories with me. I feel truly blessed and honored to be let into your life like that. It may seem small and insignificant, but to me it's a huge deal, and I love these stories so much. Again, if you want to submit your story so I can share it with the whole class, definitely send it to my Gmail, marlakrispawsandclaws@gmail.com. Send me pictures, videos, anything that you would like me to include, and I would be more than happy to share your stories with everybody else. All right, so we've done a whole lot of paws, and you watched me do a whole lot of claws. What did you guys think of the mani? Were you even paying attention to it? I don't know. I wasn't. I am finishing this mani the same way I do every single mani, with my Candi Skincare Cuticle oil. And I'm going to do something for you guys that actually was requested. I realized that I just did this mani, and I did wait a day. Just so you know, I waited a day before I removed them because I really love this set. But it was requested that I pop off my mani in the same video that I applied it. I guess so you can see the whole thing start to finish. So that's what I'm going to do. Remember, I'll leave the link to my Easter mani up here for you guys. And I'm going to get started popping off my nails. Put them in my peely bag, and I'll transplant them at some point, I'm sure. So I've got my orange wood stick here, and I'm going, I don't know if it looks like I'm being aggressive or violent here, but I'm not, I promise you. I'm going super slow, super gentle, just kind of going from the cuticle around the sidewall to loosen up those peelies, and you're going to see they're going to pop right off. So I'm going to let you guys not listen to me talk for a minute. I'll throw the music on, relax, and I will be right back with you guys. And just like that, another mani is in the bag, the peely bag. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down below if you did. Give me a thumbs up if you did. And I will see you guys in my next vid. Love you, bye.